Hello everyone and welcome, my name's Ali A and today I've got a Swarm gameplay on Grind, and if you spawn on this side, go inwards to this left building first so you don't get shot by snipers through that window, and then head to B. This is probably the worst side to try and capture B from, and you definitely want to take that route if you're going to head straight to B to avoid those sniper shots. But I hope you enjoyed that little intro there. I actually shared that clip on Twitter and Facebook a few days earlier, so you guys on there will have seen that exclusively first, so make sure you're following me on those two sites for all the sort of news and the behind the scenes stuff about my YouTube channel and stuff like that. But today I've got a gameplay where I get a few swarms, I believe, on Grind, and it should have been a flawless gameplay. You'll see why it wasn't. Right at the end, I won't spoil it, but literally right at the end I get my only death, which is very annoying. But Grind I really enjoy as a map. It's a challenge to get hold of B, but if you do it successfully, like you saw in both the beginning clip and the beginning of this gameplay, you can do really well. And once you've got it locked down, you can basically dominate the map, whether or not they're at C or A. You can manipulate the spawns quite well and do successfully and work towards a score streaks like I've got set up here. I've got VSAT, Lodestar and Swarm again. I literally haven't taken these score streaks off actually since the map packs came out. So I'm having loads of fun going for the Swarm and this setup specifically here, but I think we're going to switch it up a little bit and try something else apart from the Lodestar, just so maybe I'm using the dogs or something where I'm not actually having to control a score streak, so I'm free to run around at the same time. But I'm using a Peacekeeper here, and as I keep on saying, I'm trying to work out which is the best setup for the Peacekeeper, but it is a fantastic gun. It's got the mobility and the hip fire spread of a submachine gun, but it's got a really good range in terms of its damage. So you can use it like an assault rifle if you're accurate and you've learned how to use and control the recoil. Now, when I first started using the Peacekeeper, I said it was one of the only submachine guns I'd recommend with the red dot sight. I now take that back. It still works well with the red dot sight because of its low recoil, but if you can get used to the recoil and get used to the iron sights, it's not needed at all. So now I don't use the red dot sight at all. I've left that attachment alone and I'm experimenting with other setups to actually use. Now, going back to the map here, Grind, you want to be making sure that B is always covered, and the best thing to do is to stick to this side of the map and pop in, check the windows whether or not there are A or C, check the windows on either side, either the left or right side, to make sure that no one's sticking their head out and trying to pop in that room. And using the C4 like I have means I can just lob a C4 into the room on B and get them off it really quickly if I do see anyone's actually capturing it. I'm actually using Flak Jacket on my class here because when you're playing a game mode like Dominations, that sniper almost gets a lunge knife at me. If you're playing a game mode like Domination where you're putting yourself in risky positions like being on flags, you'll probably see a lot of grenades, C4s and explosives being thrown at you trying to get you off the flags. And if you've got Flak Jacket, it can help you survive that a little bit longer, capture those flags and be really useful. I believe, I'm not sure within this gameplay, but recently I've actually been using for my final perk slot, perk 3, I've been using Tactical Mask more. Now, I used to use Awareness all the time because it was great for sound whoring, but recently I don't know, I've kind of just given up on it. It's not really necessary. It does help a little bit, but not all the time. So I've been using Dexterity, which means I can react a little bit quicker in gunfights. And then again, now I'm sort of thinking that maybe it isn't needed, and I've moved towards Tactical Masters to help me against stuns, stuns and flashes, because flashes are really annoying. And I also believe it cuts down the EMP time as well if you get hit by an EMP grenade. A lot of people are using those recently, including myself. They are quite cool as well. Now, within one of the recent patches, which actually went live, I believe, with the launch of this map pack on Xbox, I wasn't able to cover all of the patch details. But they changed the FAL quite a lot, which means with Select Fire, it's got a little bit more recoil. I actually picked up the FAL. I haven't used it since the patch, but I picked it up and used it. I haven't used it as my own class. I picked it up and it definitely has more recoil, so the FAL with Select Fire isn't quite as strong as it used to be, which is cool. I think some of you guys would be happy about that. So they're definitely changing and switching up everything to make sure it is as fair as possible. And we're coming towards the end of the first round here. I'm actually 44-0 at this point, so I was in a very good position for coming up to the next round, and I had all of my score streaks ready. Unfortunately, the second half was really slow. I think the enemy started to back out and leave. They managed to stay within buildings. They didn't really push or go outside very much, so it wasn't too successful. I was really hoping to get 70 or more kills within this round. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, but there we go. Now, grind this little window here. You've got a window here where snipers like to prop up against and shoot within to the room. As you saw from the first clip, people like to rush into it. And then you've also got a window behind me if you're spawning on the other side where they like to look in. And if you're keeping checks on these, then you're going to be making sure that you've got a good idea of where the enemies are coming from, and you're keeping tabs on them. If they're spawning outside and you've got score streaks out, this part out here is really good because it's nice and open. The only place they can really go is sort of within the tunnels and within the ramps, but then again, it's not very, even then it's not very covered, and it's good for score streaks just to go ham. So I'm really enjoying the new maps. As I keep on saying, I think this is probably, in my opinion, the best map pack ever. It'd be interesting to see what you guys have to say, whether or not you think it's your favourite map pack that you've ever had. Maybe you've only had Modern Warfare 3 map packs. In my opinion, from the sort of viewer response, the Modern Warfare 3 map packs weren't hugely like people didn't get hyped about them quite as much as they do all the zombie maps and all the DLC for Treyarch games. So personally, I enjoy the layout and I enjoy the setup we get for Treyarch DLC, because we've got zombies in there and they're always innovating with the maps. And of course, we've now got gun DLC, and hopefully we're going to be seeing 3 more guns within the next 3 DLC drops. And this is my final and only death of the game, literally, I think it's within the last 3 seconds of the game, so I should have been 61-0. Unfortunately, I had a bad second half, and I got a really annoying death at the end there. But there we go. I hope you've enjoyed the gameplay. If you have done so, then hit that like button. I really appreciate it when you guys do that. If we could hit 10,000 likes on this gameplay, that would be epic, and I'd really appreciate it. Make sure you check out the Swarm gameplays on all my other maps as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on one of my future videos.